रातों से निकले हैं अपनी मंजिल ढूंढने। अब आंगन के आईने सच नहीं बतलाते। दरिया देख दिल मचल जाता है, अपना रास्ता खुद बना ले ऐसा ख्याल आता है। लेकिन किनारे पे लगे आईने घबरा जाते और कहते कि ये बच्चे होश में नहीं आते। दूर सितारों का वो जो देश है, वहाँ अपना भी एक नाम बना लूं, वहाँ अपनी भी एक जगह बना लूं। ऐसा इरादा कर हम निकल जाते, लेकिन आईने धीमे से फिर कह जाते, उस देश के शहजादे ज़मीनों से नहीं आते, उस देश के शहजादे ज़मीनों से नहीं आते।
I'm Shah Naved Ahmad. I belong to Lucknow, and primarily I'm a student right now. I study, I write exams, competitive exams, and I'm still in the process of becoming something. I'm still not what I want to be. And photography and whatever writings I do is a stepping stone, or you can say it's like a path to what I want to become in my life. Now is obviously my birthplace, and secondly I am in love with Lucknow. I left Lucknow for 6-7 years of my life when I was graduating and when I was working, but I don't think there was any city which attracted me so much as my own hometown Lucknow. Dastan archive photography started about 2 years back. It was not actually Dastan archive photography initially. Initially, it was Fasaanay India. That's the thought, how I perceived my own country, India. Now, when I started writing, I found that I needed images to define my thoughts. Now, that is where I started mobile photography. And I started taking pictures from my mobile phone, but somewhere I could not, say, okay, yes, I've got what I wanted. I had to move ahead from mobile photography. So I started sending my writings to some competitions, small competitions where, they had a camera as a prize or some cash prize, which I thought, maybe later on, if I win, I could have a camera with myself. And that happened. So I won one of the competitions, and that is from where I got my first camera. And that's when photography actually started. Now what happened was, slowly I started questioning that when I photograph somebody who's on the road, who's not so well off like me, or who does not have those facilities which I'm trying to capture in my images, what am I returning them? They are returning me the images, they are returning me with their moments of their lives, what I was doing for them. That's when I thought I had to start an initiative called Fasaanay India initiative, where I would print the pictures of the people I take, on the streets, and return them a memory, so that they could have a memory of the kind that we usually keep with ourselves these days. So that's what I had in mind. But for the first time, when I wanted to execute that initiative, the costs were quite high. So that's when I realized okay, I could go into the commercial side of this profession, and then later on take a round turn and then come back to this initiative. Favorite picture. Okay. I was at this fair, it was a book fair actually, and there was a candy shop. The capping, the candy making, it was a very small machine. It used to go round and round and round. So I found that very interesting. I wanted to take a shot of that. But I don't know, I messed up the frame, and I also took the boy who was making the candy in the shot. However, when I returned home, that picture was not like the way I had thought about it. I was thinking the picture will be about candy, but it was not. It was more about the child who was making that candy. And then I realized, that 2 rupees candy which he was selling was actually taking in is his childhood. He was a child of around maybe 11 or 12 years, and he was selling a candy of 2 rupees. So the input that he was putting into it was much more than the return that he was getting from that candy sales. So that, I think, was my most powerful picture, which really pumped me up to go ahead more into the fact that we have to see what are we returning to the world when we do street photography or any kind of photography, and we are capturing. One picture was exactly questioning that. Have a very strong love for portraits. I just love to photograph faces. I just love that. And photography allows me to keep those faces. Those portraits which I click are always very close to my heart, whether it had this love for faces. And that is exactly why I don't get tired when I do any wedding, 14 hours or 15 hours wedding. I just love to take their faces, their expressions. Sometimes I catch most of the most candid person of the wedding in a pensive mood. Maybe they haven't seen themselves like that ever, and I love to capture that. I love to see those pictures later on. I caught a moment which they will never know that they also can be that way, serious and always in a pensive mood. That is something which I love, portraits. October last year, when I got my first official wedding, and when I told my family, that I have got an assignment for 250 pictures, and it's like for over 30,000 rupees. So I expected, them to be happy, because it was something which I had learned from my own, the photography, the skills, everything. I wanted them to be a little more proud about it, but it was actually not the case. Like, for us in India, photography is not a very renowned profession at this point of time. And I don't know for how many years to come it will be like this. But it does not have that good repute which usually engineers, doctors, or professions like that enjoy. However, like every child is, you just go on to do those things, and then later on parents accept it. Okay, yes, you are doing it good. Okay, that's nice. So now it's completely fine. I stay out of the house for like 1 day, 1.5 days, all the night out, and it's cool now. But yeah, I did have a very low time that period of time.